Hey, what's up and welcome back, treasure hunters. So I recently attended an online class/appraisal of Dr. Lori's, and it was a really great experience. I ended up getting one of my items that I could not ID or find a value for appraised. I'm going to go over what the experience was like and, of course, what she said about my item. If you don't know who Dr. Lori is, she is obviously a doctor. She has her PhD in antiques, appraisals, and whatever else. She knows a lot about a lot of different things. It's pretty amazing. Just by looking at different items and asking a couple questions, she can figure out a time period, potential value, possibly an artist or where it came from, or, all sorts of different things. I highly recommend checking out one of her classes. I actually did it last Tuesday. They're held at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's $39, but they sell out quick. So you have to buy it in advance. And what that gets you, it's about 2 hours long. And you get to see everyone else that joins. Everybody gets one appraisal. You get an item appraised, which is usually could be around $40 anyway. And you get to see everyone else's items, what she says about them, how much they might be worth. And it's really informative and can give you a really good idea of things to look for at thrift stores and, estate sales and everything else. So I actually went to this last Tuesday, made a video right after because I was pretty pumped, and my shotgun mic gave me this ridiculous feedback during the whole video. I tried to get rid of it and I just could not. It sounded like crap. So now we're reshooting. So hopefully that doesn't happen again. Dr. Lori not only does, I'm pretty sure they're weekly classes depending on her schedule, but she does also like speaking engagements. I've seen her on like local news channels. She does appraisal events where, it's a big open area and people bring different items and she appraises it like on a podium and talks about, answers questions. And she puts out a lot of great content on her website. So I would definitely check that out too. I believe it's drloritv.com, but I'll put the link down in the description. So again, overall, it was an awesome experience. But what did I get appraised? Let's take a look. So here is the piece that I had her take a look at. And I got this, over a year ago, easy, at a Goodwill. And it was between $8 and $10. I think it was like $8. What caught my eye about it, one, obviously, it's an original oil painting on canvas. But what I noticed first was this really nice wooden frame. And then if you turn it around, you can see, the aged, darker wood, the usage of keys on the stretcher, and you won't be able to see, but in between this gap here, the canvas is held on with nails, which means that it's at least vintage, could be older. That was pretty common, earlier to mid 20th century. So, plus the canvas is darker in color. It's not like that bright white. So this is a vintage oil painting. Now, unfortunately, down here, it looks to be signed, but it's so faint. It almost looks like the piece was signed by the artist, but then there was a couple brush strokes added afterwards for the grass or something. So it looks like there's a signature underneath, maybe a layer of paint, but I don't feel comfortable with trying to remove a layer of paint to figure out the signature. That'd be something a professional would need to do. For me, I'd end up screwing the whole painting up. So I'm just going to leave it as it is. But she told me that in the end, this painting would easily fetch between $950 and $1,100 at auction, which was pretty surprising. I thought it was somewhat valuable, but not to that extent, especially without knowing who the artist is on this. But she was able to tell that it's likely done between the 20s and 40s. And she mentioned Cincinnati right away. I live in Cleveland, so that's pretty good. And she said it's likely done by somebody at the Cincinnati school. And she mentioned an artist too, who was a teacher, but I don't remember what his name was. I was too focused in on, what she was saying about the pricing and where it came from. I totally forgot the artist's name. So this was my piece, and really happy to get that appraised. So I'm going to put it up in my store. So during the class, obviously, you have to wait until your name gets called, and then, you go on, turn your mic on, and it's all done through Zoom, real easy. And, you just show her the item, specifics, she'll ask questions, and she appraises the item. What's really cool is seeing all the other items that other people found or inherited or bought at estate auctions or sales, and kind of like where those things came from, and then what she says about those things. So you could even, if you wanted to be studious, you could even jot down notes, whether it's on your computer or in a notepad or something, about different types of items that are a lot more valuable than you thought. She was even asking, like, what types of classes do people want to see done? And, she was going to do a class on like vintage marbles, which is crazy to me that, that much could be done on one small subject. But yeah, there's a lot of great content on her site too, whether you're trying to ID, silver or art or a number of different things. She has a ton of little tips and tricks, what to look for, and how to tell if something is more modern or older. So that's all I got for you guys today. Thank you for watching. I definitely recommend checking Dr. Lori out. I had a great experience. I'll definitely be back because there are a lot of things that I need to figure out how much they're worth and, a little bit about them, because they're building up and it can be difficult to do that on your own. And paying for an appraiser, especially online, it's kind of hit or miss. Having someone that you trust and will be able to give you somewhat of an answer is a lot better. So I got a bunch of new thrift store finds that I'm going to go over with you in the next video. Also, I have a couple auction items that I recently got in, some really good buys. I ended up finding some really cool art this past week, so I was pretty surprised at that. If you have any questions or comments or whatever, please leave them below. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Of course, if you like the content, found anything useful, please hit that like button and subscribe if you want to see more of my content. I appreciate all of you. I'll see you in the next video, and get out there and find something that you can flip for a profit.